guys, Heather here, and I've been getting some requests from people asking if I could suggest a simple morning routine that would set their day up for just being totally in flow. So sometimes if you just wake up with the alarm and jump out of bed, your whole day kind of feels compressed and chaotic. And especially in these times, having something that takes just a few minutes that can set you up for a day of kind of calm and ease and balance, I think could go really far. So I am here to share with you my secret to having a consistent morning routine, and it is called the 5 Tibetan Rites. It is also known as the Fountain of Youth, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But in this video, I just want to explain what these are, very briefly how we think they work, and go through each of the 5 exercises. It's 5 exercises, along with modifications, because what I absolutely love about this practice is that it is totally inclusive. So whether you're an elite athlete and you're going to do this before your normal kind of heavy-duty routine, workout routine or morning routine, or you're bedridden, this is a practice that you can adopt that will reverse the aging process, or things that we think of that go along with aging, like pain and sleeplessness and things of that nature. So what are they? They're a series of 5 movements. As you can tell by the name, they come from Tibet. The Dalai Lama practices these, and hey, he's looking pretty good for his age. So you can get on there and do all sorts of research about what people say these things have done for them, this practice has done for them. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is create your own experience, have your own experience. Just try. It literally takes just a few minutes a day, commit for a week, and decide whether or not they work for you and it's something you want to adopt. So how we think they work is related to your chakra system, and if chakras aren't something you're into, that's cool. Just think of it like this. Your body has energy, and that energy moves in a certain way, and as we age, that energy can slow down, or different parts of your body are moving at different speeds, and that's what can cause illness or disease. So a lot of people that practice these will report things like better sleep, less stress, better digestion, clarity, coordination, posture, you name it, right? And if you follow our YouTube channel, you'll know that we're really into the vagus nerve. And so these practices are vagal toning practices as well. So let's get into what it is. It is a series of 5 movements that integrates breath, and it's very meditative. Some people say when they do it, it feels like a meditative dance. You do them first thing in the morning, preferably on an empty stomach, and you do each exercise the same number of reps. So you can do just 1 rep, and that's literally gonna just take you under a minute, or you can do all the way up to a maximum of 21 reps. Now, to get to 21 reps takes an average person about 3 months. So after I do this introduction video, I'm going to do a really short video with just 3 reps and suggest you start there and then add on to when you feel like you're ready, right? So part of this exercise is really learning how to tap into your body and what feels good to you. So in general, there's a lot out there where they say stop on an odd number because that's better for your chakras. And that's what I do. But again, do what works for you. So to sum up, the 5 Tibetan Rites, also known as the Fountain of Youth, is known to reverse aging. It's simple. It can be done in a very short period of time, and it can be done literally by everybody. Okay, so if you're in, then let me show you each of the 5 rites and go through some modifications so you can decide which one works for you. You may even want to grab a piece of paper and jot down, oh, for rite number 1, this is how I'm going to do it. And then when we finish this video, you can head on over to the video where I'm going to bring you through a series of 3 repetitions. All right, let's get started. Now, I mentioned that these exercises are available to anyone. And this is true. And the reason why is because your mind is so powerful. If you imagine right now that I give you a fragrant, I hand over to a fragrant slice of lemon. And I ask you to squeeze it, and you see the juice start to come out, and then you put it in your mouth and you take a big, huge bite of it. Does your mouth start to water? Your mind didn't know that you weren't sucking on a lemon slice. So in the same way, your mind won't know that your body is not physically doing these. It will act as if you are. So one of the modifications that's always going to be available is to imagine yourself doing the exercise that I'm demonstrating. Okay, so does everyone got that? Now, disclaimer, if you don't usually exercise and you're not so sure you should be starting an exercise program, then watch me do the exercises and just imagine yourself doing them until you can get to a doctor and get yourself checked out, and then you can start with the slower modifications that I'm going to show you and work up to the full poses. All right? So as you probably guessed, there are 5 movements that we'll be practicing. Now what I'm going to do is show you the way I do them. All right? And the way I start is always with sound. Now, if you've checked out our YouTube channel, you know that I'm really into humming, and humming is a great way that you can introduce sound into your day. I chant, and I'll share the chant that I do before I do my routine in the morning. This is why I think sound is so important. This is the analogy I always give people. When I wake up first thing in the morning, I feel like every cell in my body is an individual musician. And if you've ever walked into an orchestra where people are just kind of practicing and tuning up their instruments, it sounds like a bunch of jumbled noise, right? But then the conductor comes in and this amazing music, this totally coherent, harmonious experience happens. And that is my experience of using sound in the morning. Now, if this is not your thing and you're like, no, thank you, then I'm going to suggest you imagine yourself making sound, but that you will also do another thing, and that is kind of explore this idea of why you don't want to hear your voice and what may be stopping you from having a voice or feeling like you should be making some sound. Because I know when I first started chanting, I couldn't stand the way my voice sounded. I felt like because I wasn't a singer, couldn't carry a tune, I shouldn't be doing this. But it has made a profound impact on my stress levels. So again, I just invite you to give it a shot and try it out. So your options there would be something really simple like an HA breath or a sighing breath, where you just nice deep breath in through the nose and let it out. Humming, right? So in through the nose and humming it out. The chant that I use is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I'll put this in the notes down below, which roughly translates that you acknowledge you have a teacher within you and that you're looking within inside yourself for wisdom. How I feel when I chant it is that it's a reminder for me that I can trust myself and I can trust the feelings that I have, and I can trust the relationship that I have with my body and what my body's telling me. So I invite you to choose what kind of sound do you want to make or imagine that you're making before you get started. All right, and that's how we'll start the practice. So now I'm gonna move my camera back so I can show you the first rite. All right, the first rite is spinning. Now, if the thought of spinning makes you dizzy, just the thought of it, don't do it. Wait for the modification or just imagine. I need to back way up so you can see what my feet are doing here. Your feet are about hip width apart, arms parallel to the ground, palms down. You'll spin clockwise, slow and controlled, no reason to go fast here, no need to go fast. Just breathing in and out in a nice controlled manner. Okay, so we start spinning, breathing in, breathing out. Eyes can be open, eyes can be shut, or you can spot like a ballerina. At the end of this rite, you'll put one foot in front of the other so you can feel nice and solid and grounded. Press your palms together and stare at your thumbs. And we're going to do 3 breaths between each rite. In through your nose, and then out through either your nose or mouth, whatever's more comfortable for you. modification for spinning. Spaghetti arms. So feet are a little more than hip width apart. Your arms feel like cooked spaghetti noodles, and you just simply twist your body from right to left. Again, you'll end this one with your palms together, staring at your thumbs. If those don't work for you, you could sit in a chair. Depending on your chair, your arms may need to come up and just twist from right to left, or you always have the option of imagining. For rite number 2, you need to move on down to the floor. You come to a lying position here. Let's make sure I'm still on the camera. And the traditional videos and stuff that I've seen have your hands just by your sides pressing into the floor. That's never been comfortable for me, nor anyone that I've taught this to. So I like to make a triangle or a diamond shape and put it right there underneath my low back. It really helps stabilize me. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, and you feel your soles of your feet feel like they're pressing towards the wall in front of you, so you're nice and long. Now this movement is going to bring your legs up, while at the same time your chin comes up and your belly button moves down to the ground. So let me show you what that looks like, okay? It's an inhale and an exhale. Legs are straight, navel pulling down towards the ground, and chin just gently lifts up. This one, I call this one fire in the belly. This is all about activating your core and getting you motivated for the day. So if that movement does not feel good to you, and by the way guys, nothing should ever hurt. If it hurts, red flag, don't do it. Remember, you can always move to imagining it. But if that move does not feel good that way, maybe just your legs. Okay, you might want to try that. Or maybe just your chin and your head. Or bending your knees. You could try this. Or again, just your legs. Or if this feels better on your back, just your head and neck. When I end rite number 2, getting that fire in my belly going, I like to take a nice big cat stretch. So I feel my toes pointing towards the wall in front of me and my hands stretching out behind me with maybe a little side bend. We're going to do those 3 breaths right in between each rite.
Hey guys, I guess I was so excited to get to rite number 3, I didn't do rite number 2 in the chair. You would sit in your chair, comfortable, feet on the ground. Remember, this is about activating your core. So you would inhale and curl your body forward, pulling that belly button back towards the back of your chair as you lift your knees up and rock forward onto your toes. And then exhale, plant your feet back down as you come back up to seated. So it would be inhale, curl forward, rock up on your toes, and then exhale, plant your feet and come back up to seated.
Rite number 3, we need to get on our knees. So come up in a way that's safe and gentle. And if you're on a hard surface, you're going to want to put a blanket or a pillow underneath your knees. Or if you're on a yoga mat, you can double or triple it. Curl your toes under, right? So you kind of have I call it a kickstand. Align your joints so your knees are right underneath your hips here. Now in the traditional exercises that I've reviewed, they show your hands right here on the back of your thighs. Again, not comfortable for me. My body's it does not feel good. And for most of the people that I've taught this to. So some options. If this feels good for you, go for it. One option is to put your hands back here like you've got your hands in your back pockets. You're wearing jeans and you've got your hands back there. Or put your thumbs together and support your back like that. Okay? So this move is very simple. It's stretching your whole front line, and it's a heart opener, right? So preparing you for a day of compassion, I like to say. So for this one, it's just an inhale and you look up, collarbones go wide, camel pose if you know yoga, and then you look forward. My body does not have much bend that way, all right? You guys, these moves can be very subtle. You don't need to kill yourself here. So you're inhaling, looking up, stretching that front body, feel that stretch, and then exhale and look forward. If being on your knees is not comfortable, you can try the move this way. right? You could also take it to your chair. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down as you look up. And then exhale to look forward. So it's an inhale, and then an exhale. And if I'm on the ground, I end this one in a child pose for my 3 breaths. Or if you're in a chair, you could end it something like this. All right, we're just gonna do a brief rest between each of the rites. And hopefully you like these, and you're gonna join me in the video where we run through from beginning to end once you've picked out what your modification will be. Okay, and then it'll make more sense, I think. So right number 4, reverse tabletop. So have your feet about hip width apart, maybe a little bit more. Hands right here, fingers pointing forward. Hopefully you can see that in the video. I should scoot over a little bit. And you're going to inhale as you rock forward, create a tabletop position with your body. And then exhale, and you're gonna push through your hands so you can scoot your bum back through there. All right, watch that one more time. So you inhale, come up to tabletop. And then as I'm exhaling, I'm coming down, I'm really pressing into my arms so I can scoot my butt back through. This one for me really strengthens my arms. And so when I do this right, I think about preparing myself for either giving or receiving for the day. If that move doesn't work, if that's tough for you, try just doing it halfway. How much can you do here? Lifting yourself up. If bending your knees is still too much, can you just press into the ground and just do a micro move where you barely just lift up? If you want to do this in a chair, make sure your feet feel stable on the ground. Your chair is not going to go anywhere. Make sure you're not on a slippery surface. And you would just inhale and come up and exhale and come down. Again, you should be feeling like your arms are getting a little bit of a workout here. So if you're imagining it, that's what I want you to be imagining. Right number 5, if you're familiar with yoga, this is going to be an up dog, down dog combination or a cobra downward dog. So we're gonna start on our belly, palms beneath our shoulders, toes are curled under, and your feet are about a little more than hip width apart. You're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale to press up, look forward, pull that navel in. Nothing should hurt here, guys. Protect your back. And then inhale as you push up into downward dog, really prioritizing that long, flat back. Bend your knees if you need to, all right? So it's an exhale as you rock forward, look forward, collarbones wide, and inhale, back up into that downward dog. Modification, you could come onto your forearms, okay? So with your forearms, looking forward, and then moving up into kind of that halfway, call it halfway downward dog, there's probably a name for it. For me, this one is all about inverting my head below my heart. You know that your head is super greedy when it comes to nutrition, and your body spends all day pumping blood up against gravity. So anytime you can get your head below your heart, you're giving yourself a little bit of a break. So again, that would be an exhale looking forward, and then an inhale, shifting those hips back so that your head is beneath your heart. Let's see what that might look like on a chair. So if you take this last one to the chair, your breath pattern may be reversed, and I've seen people do it both ways for this 5th rite, honestly. What's most important is that as you move through these exercises, you're going to get more in tune with your body and what your body wants to do, and then do that. It doesn't matter what I say or what anyone else on the YouTube says. Tune into you and do what your body wants to do, all right? So for this pendulum in a chair, I would inhale, my shoulders up, back, and down. Feel my collarbones going wide. And then exhale, palms on my thighs, and let my head get heavy like a bowling ball. Inhale, I press my body up, collarbones wide. And then exhale, just relaxing down. Okay. After I finish my 5th rite, I take child's pose again. And hopefully you're gonna join me in the video and I'll show you what I do. It's kind of like the 5 Tibetan Rites Heather style. All right. I hope this was informative and that you're feeling intrigued enough to check it out. And if you do, I hope you leave me a comment and let me know how it goes for you. Thanks so much for watching.